Hello, my name is Miguel Mata, and this is the This Way Out podcast, a component of the This Way Out project. This podcast is where I take a few minutes to try and offer some words of encouragement, attempt to inspire and hopefully motivate people as they start their day, where I address a few topics that can be especially challenging for some people, but hopefully in a way that speaks to the humanity in each of us. Most of all, it's my attempt at being a constant source for positive messages in a time where such a thing can be somewhat difficult to find. Good morning. It's Thursday, February 6, 2020. Last year when I started this project, I thought I did a pretty good job of preparing myself for the criticism I was certain to get when one tries to do something worthwhile. We all know this to be true, so I was ready to face the negativity. What I hadn't prepared for were the criticisms I would put myself through. And they were pretty brutal. I ran my psyche through the gambit. This is a worthless project. It's not going to make a difference. I was being a hypocrite, so on and so forth. And you know what? I almost brought myself to quit this thing altogether. I ended up telling my wife, Vanessa, that I had convinced myself the project was probably not going to make a difference, and that I was going to quit the whole thing. She looked at me and asked why I felt that way, and when I shared what I was thinking, she replied, "Oh, you let the devil into your head." And then it clicked. Yep, I sure did. Now you, podcast listener, may not be someone who believes in angels and demons, heaven or hell, spirits and ghouls, but when it comes to being your worst critic, you don't have to believe in that stuff because it's basically a fact of life. As we make our way through the ups and downs of this life, we can be so cruel to ourselves, our self-esteem and our spirit. So many times we can become our own worst enemy. And for what? Do we try to break ourselves down so that when someone else is critical of us, it doesn't hurt as much? Maybe. Do we make ourselves feel small and insignificant because those feelings are what's comfortable and familiar? Possibly. Do we allow ourselves to be taken advantage of by other people because we don't consider ourselves worthy enough to be treated fairly? Likely. All these statements could be true for you or anyone, or none of them could be true. The mind is complex. It's a tool capable of astonishing possibilities in thinking, but it's also a source of troublesome and distressful thoughts as well. The mind can be a person's most powerful ally and also their worst enemy. Here's what else is true. Most of the time, those negative thoughts and negative feelings that come about as a result of our own thoughts and anxieties are so far from the truth, it's almost funny. When I had that conversation with my wife, where she made me realize I was essentially just psyching myself out, it turned out she was right. I'm still here, trying to make a difference. Despite the fact that my message has only reached a few people here and there, the light is still on and will continue to stay lit for as long as I can manage it. I refuse to give in to the criticisms of others and my own insecurities, which can sometimes be quite convincing. But I believe in what I'm doing, the good that it stands for, and as such, that's where my faith and my strength is grounded. And my message to you is that if I can do that for myself, then you can do the same. I understand how gripping the fears of anxiety can be on your mindset. I get how convincing your negative thoughts can be about your own potential. But none of it is true if you gather up just a tiny bit of strength and stand up to your bully. In the end, that's what we all have to do. We got to stand up to the thing that scares us the most. I've come to realize the only real path to success doesn't go away, over, around, or underneath our fears, but through them. Our journey to find ourselves doesn't avoid the boogeyman, it goes through him. And for many of us, the boogeyman is in our head and he is terrifying. But you can do it if you only believe. If you can, surround yourself with positive people who support you in your journey, and believe them when they tell you they support you and that they love you. If you can, Educate yourself with knowledge about what it takes to overcome your particular obstacle and other obstacles. Education is a powerful tool in overcoming one's fears and challenges. If you can, take a moment to realize that despite your previous shortcomings, today is a new day with a clean slate that's just ready to be conquered by your new progress, whatever that may be. A step in the direction of progress is progress, large or small. Moving forward is moving forward. And if you're finding it impossible to see the light at the end of the tunnel, then I encourage you to send me an email, and we can brainstorm ways together to get you where you want to go. I'm not a professional in these areas, but I am someone who is willing to help, and many times that's all we need, to know someone is willing to help. And that's what I'm willing to do because I believe that you are worth the effort, always and forever. And if I can't help you, then I will try and point you in a direction where you can get help. That's the other thing, by the way. You know you best. And if any of the things I've talked about is an issue that you deal with and you don't think that you have it in you to overcome your own thoughts, I encourage you to seek out counseling. Talk to a mental health professional. I realize the concern that surrounds the stigma behind reaching out for that kind of help, and I get that there might be a lack of faith in counseling altogether. But as someone who has reached out to a counselor a time or two, I can tell you that for me, it really did do wonders. To be your own worst critic is normal. It's part of life and it happens, but you can overcome it because you, just like anyone else, are capable of accomplishing anything you put your mind to. It's a slippery slope to be self-critical, so be mindful and get support where possible. If that means you lean on your friends and family, then you lean on your friends and family. If that means you read a few books, watch a few videos, attend a class, and educate yourself about ways to overcome challenges and strengthen your mind, then that's what you do. And if picturing yourself being successful and overcoming your challenges is especially hard for you and you think you might need the assistance of a mental health professional, then that's what you should do. And remember, you don't have to just do one of those things. You can do all of those things. But do it so that way we can all make progress toward a better world by starting with us living our best life and reaching all our goals. Let's believe together, you and I, that we make the world better entirely by starting with us individually. I really hope your Thursday is an outstanding one. Don't be afraid of success. Go after it. Remember, you have the capacity for fantastic and amazing achievements. You need only to believe it so, and you should believe it because I believe it. So get after it and make great things happen. Here's to wishing you the very best. God bless, and I'll talk to you again on Monday. This has been the This Way Out podcast, a part of the This Way Out project. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to hear future episodes, please subscribe. If you would like to get in touch with me to recommend future topics, provide feedback, or any other reason, you can comment on the episode or send me an email at thiswo.light@gmail.com. That's thiswo.light@gmail.com. If you're interested in the other aspects of the This Way Out project, be sure to visit my website at thiswo-light.com.